think it's correct to let you know that I'm running also for the presidency of another club. That doesn't mean that I'm not interested in both clubs. Some people are very interested about a lot of things. I took the time to run for the presidency of two clubs. I took the time to do two presentations and to prepare two speeches. So I think that can make you understand that I'm really interested in both clubs and to spend my time for the club. At least I hope so. That said, another reason why I decided not to step back. This morning, the other club asked me to step back because they prefer me not to run for the two clubs. I talked with Angelica and I thought it was right to give the people the choice of to program two people. I think she's great, but I still think that people have the right to decide among two candidates. That's democracy for me, so I decided not to step back, even if this probably weakened my candidature in both clubs, but I think it was right. So now let's start. I'll take 5 minutes, maybe, I have 7, right? So I'm Italian, I'll take the 7. Let's start from me. This is Venice. I come from a small village in the north of Italy, and I moved to Venice for university. I studied foreign languages, and it was a mix of foreign languages and culture. So during the university, I move around quite a lot. I'm European, so that's easy. We have Erasmus program. We have a lot of in between exchange between universities. So I spent 1 year in Paris, my first year abroad, and then I spent 1 year in Germany between Berlin and a small city in the south. And finally, my love came. I arrived in Barcelona, and it's in love in various things because my boyfriend and my ex-boyfriend are from Barcelona. So I've been coming from Italy and Barcelona. I've been living from Barcelona and Italy for the last 8 years, long relation. And so I think that can help because I know quite a lot the city. I worked here a few years ago in the bus touristic, in a touristic bus, and for the last 3 years and a half in a PR agency, working with different companies of different sectors, also food and beverage. But the first love is always Venice, so I used to go back there, and that's where I started working after university. I worked there for 6 years at La Biennale. For English speaker, maybe it's known as the Biennale. So it's a big cultural foundation, one of the biggest in Europe, the biggest in Italy. They have art and architecture exhibition. They have performing art festivals and a movie festival. So I basically come from the cultural world, mainly in the communication. So I was in the communication officer, and also here in Barcelona, I used to work in PR, so events organization and media relations, social media manager. So that's me. The photo is not the best one. I should change it. Working on it. So more or less, I told everything about me. I freelance a lot also with small techie companies. Mainly techie companies. Now, coming to the club, I think, as Angelica said, we are a lot on the same line. We have to take into consideration where we are. We are in Barcelona. Last year, the official data said there were 8 million tourists, like in hotels. Let's just imagine how many more people are outside hotels nowadays. So we have a very good example here around us of tourism and a touristic city. So I think it's important to connect with the city. And synergy. We are a small club. We can look around. We were worried because we are not a lot this year. I think it's very important to partner with other clubs. We were saying luxury club, for instance. I was thinking about the tech and media club because I'm more about companies like Booking or Airbnb. But as she said, I agree. It's important also to see what the people in the club want to do and where they want to go. So that's our 2 points for me that are important. Not only hospitality. I think we have to. Again, I agree with her, we have to rebrand the club because hospitality doesn't work as a name. When you hear hospitality, you think about hotels, but that club for me is something more. It's about culture, it's about food, it's about wine. and it is also about hotels and travel. So for me, we should find a name in the board. It's not something about me, it's about the board. A new name to make people understand what is all this. And now some points I'd like to tackle as president of the club. So, but still, those are my ideas. I think it's important to see what the people that will join the club and the board think about what is the direction. So, for instance, hospitality, the evolution of hospitality or tourism, whatever you want to call it, through technology. We have companies like Booking or Airbnb, as I said. So, what are they doing? What is their challenges every day? So I'd like to organize company visit or presentation here in campus on these topics. Also, there are these big booking agency or competitor to hotels. How are the hotels reacting to this? Then the airline industry. One of the biggest airlines in Europe is Vueling, and they have their headquarters here in Barcelona, well, just outside Barcelona. So why don't we get in touch with them and see with the C-level managers, with the CEO, what are the challenges at the moment, but also what are the possibilities for MBA students to join the airline industry, for instance. And then the cruise industry. There's a big port here in Barcelona. It's not only a goods port, it's also and mainly a touristic port. So I think there's a lot of work in that area if we are interested in staying in Spain, if we are interested in staying in Barcelona. So again, why don't we reach them and see what are the possibilities for MBAs, for internship, or for future jobs? What are the challenges of these sectors? Then for me it's important also the food and the wine, as I said. Catalonia is a region rich in these scenes. Why don't we use it as a case study? There are at least 3 big wine companies here: Torres, Codorníu, and Freixenet. I have contact at Codorníu and Torres, second-hand contact with Torres, first-hand contact with Codorníu. Why don't we go there and see what they are doing, discover more about them. Then for me it's very important, because I come from communication, also how some companies are using the sponsorship for events and cultural events to reinforce their brand. I'm thinking about Moritz and Estrella Damm. So I'd like to reach their brand manager to see what's their idea, what's their policy, are they looking for MBA people, there's space for us there. And finally, I'm almost over. Of course, I come from a big cultural foundation, so for me art is important. And I would like to get in touch with Sagrada Familia. I have personal contact there, working there. And also with Sonar Festival. Again, I have contact there, so I can use my first-hand contact. The Sonar Festival for me is a big example of something that started really small and get very huge and big. And now they are bringing thousands of people here in Barcelona for the festival. So let's study this case, because it's a success case that maybe we can replicate for those of us who want to open a tourist industry in the future. And finally, I'm over. I think it's very important also to analyze the sustainability of tourism. So for instance, Barcelona experiences a lot of problem with the increase of tourists. Why don't we get in touch with the CTO, of course not with the major, with somebody else who can come to the campus and explain us how they are gonna face the problem, what are their ideas about increasing, facing this issue. So I'm ready for this flight, and what about you?